3 dead and 3 seriously hurt after a wrong-way crash in Allegan County. What we know about the incident so far, plus open enrollment through the Affordable Care Act has begun. But the prices may shock you. How much more you could be paying for health insurance. And why a marker dedication ceremony was held in a West Michigan cemetery this weekend. News Channel 3, live at 11, starts right now.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3. Live at 11.
Thank you for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at 11. I'm Princess Janae Steverson. 3 people are dead and 3 more are injured after a crash last night on US 131 involving a driver traveling the wrong way. And local law enforcement tried to stop the crash before it even happened. The Allegan County Sheriff's Office says an officer from Gun Lake Tribal Police Department saw the driver going south in the northbound lanes. It started around 129th Avenue in Wayland Township. The officer followed the car in the southbound lanes until the driver collided with a northbound passenger vehicle near Martin Township. The female driver of the wrong-way car was pronounced dead at the scene, as were both men in front seats of the vehicle that was struck. 3 other people were also in the car that was going northbound, all of whom were seriously injured. Officials say it's not known right now if alcohol was a factor in the incident. US 131 was shut down for several hours overnight, but was back open as of this morning. The Allegan County Sheriff's Office told News Channel 3 they are still putting the pieces together about what happened last night and will likely have more to share on Monday. Scary moments for a family in Canton Township this weekend after a sewing needle was found in a piece of Halloween candy. Police shared these photos of the Twix bar. You can see the needle poking out near the middle of it. Investigators are now working to learn how this happened. Police say they think this is an isolated incident, but they're warning parents to check candy before their kids eat it. If you find something suspicious in Halloween candy, you should report it to the police. A fire in Battle Creek is under investigation tonight. Fire officials say crews were called to a home on West Helen and Montgomery Avenue around 8 a.m. yesterday. Crews found the fire on the first floor of a 1.5-story wood frame duplex. Officials say one person was able to escape the home before fire crews arrived and no one was hurt. The cause of the fire is unknown at this hour. Taking a live look now over downtown Kalamazoo. On this Sunday night, we saw a nice fall day around West Michigan, but we could see some snowflakes by next weekend. Meteorologist Will Haney has a look at what's ahead. Will?
Yeah, we could get our first taste of winter perhaps by the end of next weekend, about 7 days from now. For now, though, we have some pretty nice fall weather ahead. Just going to trend a little bit breezier overnight and through the first part of your Monday. This is a live look over Allegan. Almost looks ready for winter. Is that a little red and green action going on? I think it is. Maybe they're getting in the spirit a little early. Temperatures right now, 43 in Hastings, 46 in Allegan, 48 in South Haven. Holland near at 46 too. There is some rain farther north. This is a clipper system that's dropping into the Great Lakes right now, but most of the moisture associated with this system is going to stay farther north. But if you're near and north of I-96 overnight through the early morning hours tomorrow, you may see some of those showers. Beautiful start to the day, but cold. We fell into the upper 20s and there was some patchy fog that was freezing on contact with things like trees, your lawn. So pretty hard frost and freeze this morning. Matt Satinin capturing today's beautiful sunset over Lincoln Lake. That's in Kent County. As we go overnight, we won't be nearly as cold, turning cloudy with those showers farther north. For tomorrow, most will stay dry closer to I-94 and will actually turn sunny quickly after a little morning cloud cover, even warmer with a few clouds in the picture Tuesday. Talk about a weak disturbance for the middle of the week before things get a lot more unsettled towards the end of the work week. We'll detail all that in your full forecast. Princess.
Thanks, Will. Open enrollment through the Affordable Care Act has begun, but Americans may be shocked by the prices for 2026. Insurers are charging a lot more, and that number could skyrocket for low-income families if lawmakers don't extend federal subsidies that cut their cost. Jen Sullivan explains just how much more you could be paying for health insurance.
The government shutdown is now in its second month. At the center of the battle on Capitol Hill, healthcare subsidies that make insurance more affordable for millions of Americans. Those tax breaks, though, are set to expire. Democrats want to see them extended.
Ripping healthcare away from millions of Americans is unpopular.
More than 24 million people have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And roughly 92% of enrollees receive federal tax credits to help lower their monthly costs. Renewing the subsidies would cost $35 billion every year for the next 10 years. Many Republicans say they won't negotiate the subsidies question until enough Democrats approve a spending bill to reopen the government.
Get this thing open. We have shown in good faith that we will do the appropriations process.
Regardless of subsidies, the cost of health insurance through the Affordable Care Act will jump. KFF, a nonprofit focused on health policy, recently looked at monthly costs for health care coverage and found ACA insurers are raising premiums by roughly 26% next year. But if you take away subsidies on top of the increases, the costs will be even higher.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double. That's a 114% increase.
KFF says average monthly premium costs could go from $888 to as much as $1,904 in 2026.
I have people who are sitting at home in Massachusetts right now looking at their new health care premiums and trying to decide between health care and rent.
Federal tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
We are now just 2 days away from Election Day. There are local elections being held around West Michigan this Tuesday, November 4th. If you're not sure what's on the ballot, we have an article with everything you need to know on our website, wwmt.com. Just click on the Election Day banner at the top of the page. And of course, on Election Day, our team will be following ballot issues from around the area and updating you live on air and online. The Michigan State Police 5th District says they're holding a month-long food drive this month to support local families and food banks. Collection sites will be at all 5th District posts. That includes Paw Paw, Niles, Wayland, Marshall, and district headquarters. They say each post will be partnering with a local food pantry or nonprofit to make sure donations directly support local communities. You can drop items off at any of the post lobbies Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. starting this week. The Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office is preparing for the holiday season. They are participating once again in this year's Toys for Tots program. We're told they have a collection box in the lobby of the Sheriff's Office. You can drop off donations until December 5th. A marker dedication ceremony was held at a West Michigan cemetery this weekend. The ceremony at Clement Cemetery in Vicksburg commemorates 16 pioneers buried in the historic plot. Among those people buried, there is Jeanette Frazier. She was the owner of the spiritualistic campground Frazier's Grove, which was a hub of spiritualism in the Midwest for decades. Organizers say the marker will bring greater attention to the legacies of the early residents that are interred there.
There are several buildings in Vicksburg that have these people's names on them. These people helped create this beautiful little town of Vicksburg, and I just feel like it's very important to honor them by visiting, by cleaning, by keeping them immortal in these ways.
Organizers say the marker was provided through a grant from the Pomeroy Foundation. Take a look. A military antique show was at the Kalamazoo Expo Center this weekend. Attendees could find military items from many historic wars, including World War II. Organizers say it's been over a decade since they held this show on the west side of the state.
My buddy Carl and I thought that it would be a good thing because there's nothing on this side of the state, and we bring a nice, organized setup for a lot of military history. A lot of old timers here, a lot of military-based people here, and we really enjoy showing and selling military history here.
Well, if you missed the show today, don't worry. Organizers say they'll be back in Kalamazoo in May. The annual Fall Model Train Show was also at the Kalamazoo Expo Center this weekend. It's the 45th year of the show, hosted by the Kalamazoo Model Railroad Historical Society. There were over 170 vendor tables, each with various train-related memorabilia and collectibles.
You can buy new stuff, you can buy used stuff, things that people no longer want, and it can be a great place to find good deals and good prices. So, it lowers the cost of entry into the hobby.
Organizers say their shows have grown bigger and bigger every year, with the last 3 shows having the biggest attendance ever. And you can now visit one of John Ball Zoo's newest residents, Hugo, the pygmy hippo calf. He made his public debut at the zoo members last week, but now everyone is invited to visit him. Hugo and his mom, Penelope, can now be seen at the zoo's Pygmy Hippo Pavilion each day from 10:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Zookeepers warn, though, that this is the pygmy's natural nocturnal time frame, and they can't guarantee the pair will be active or visible during every visit. Coming up, we're learning that children's football helmets might be making them more vulnerable to head injuries. Tonight's Spotlight on America features the expert who just changed the game with groundbreaking safety standards. Plus, Jamaica is now recovering after the hurricane that hit them last week, Hurricane Melissa, the latest from officials on relief efforts.